All right, now we're recording. We're going to do this for take 3. So I'm going to interview Alexander here from the Log Cabin Republicans of Greater Boston. Could you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your organization?
Sure, thank you, Mark. So the Log Cabin Republicans of Greater Boston, we are the Log Cabin chapter for Greater Boston, most of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Log Cabin Republicans is the gay outreach, the LGBTQ outreach for the Republican Party. The log cabins have been around since the 1970s, the late 1970s. Actually, one of the biggest supporters of how we got started was Governor Ronald Reagan when he was the governor of California. There was a ballot initiative in '78 that would make it legal to fire someone for being homosexual, especially if you were in the education field. Well, that ballot question had a high approval rating. It was going to pass. It was supported by Republicans and Democrats alike. And so there was a group of gay conservatives who were like, we cannot let this pass. So they door-knocked. They did every campaigning that you could do, the groundwork. And in the ending days of the campaign, they were like, you know what, let's take a shot in the dark and let's reach out to our governor to see if he will back our efforts. They reached out to Governor Ronald Reagan. He came back saying this is discrimination, this cannot stand. Just because they're homosexual does not mean they cannot be teachers, stuff like that. So he came out against it. So on election day, that ballot initiative failed completely. So from that excitement, from that small group of gay conservatives grew up into something bigger to what it is today. There are, correct me if I might be wrong, there are 83 chapters currently right now in several states across the country. It's absolutely great. Greater Boston, we just kicked off in January. We continue to grow membership. We're going to have a event next week at Boston Park Plaza. We're going to have the RNC's National Gay Outreach Director come to Greater Boston, to give us what the message is on the RNC, because Ronna McDaniel is very supportive of us. The RNC is trying to push for the gay outreach just as they are in the black community and the Hispanic community. They really want to show that our party is for all freedom-loving Americans.
Fantastic. And so have you been a Republican your whole life?
I've been a Republican my whole life.
And so do you see the Republicans as being more or less inclusive for the LGBT community now versus before, and compared to Democrats from before and now?
So I think the Republican Party has definitely grown in its acceptance of the gay community. And let's be real here. The Democrats aren't good with the history either. They've had some bad history. Let's not forget the guy in the White House right now was a huge supporter of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the Defense of Marriage Act. And not only that, he also called gay people national security risks in 2011. I hope people remember that, But the Republican Party, I see it's definitely, you have to keep the balance between protecting religious liberty while at the same time protecting somebody's individual rights as a human being a gay person. I think and we're definitely seeing it now. The fact that we are here at this convention, shows just how inclusive the Republican Party is. And actually, Log Cabin Republicans, they tend to usually have a booth or a vendor table at all the state conventions that they try to. And usually they're the busiest table to begin with. And actually, it has been pretty busy here. So it's great because I think there's a misconception out there that's just, because you're a Republican, then it's like, one, you can't be gay. You can't be gay and be a Republican. I'm like, no. Just because of who I fall in love with does not determine that, yeah, I want lower taxes. I want a strong military. I want a free market. I want to protect individual liberties and freedom. That's more important to me than anything.
And that's I'm an ordained minister. So legally speaking, if I said I wasn't going to do a same-sex wedding, I can legally do that. Where a member of the Justice of the Peace or Town Clerk can't. Now I won't do that because for the sole reason that whether you agree or disagree with someone's lifestyle, doing the wedding, their relationship between them and their partner and them and their God is just that.
Yeah.
It's not my place to judge that relationship. It's is why I have no problem performing that wedding.
Correct, and I think that's where there have been discussions in recent years and stuff that talk about gays shouldn't be in the party because of religious views and things like that. But it's not following the separation of church and state, which I think we need to have. But from the religious side of it, because I am a practicing Catholic, I've taught from an early age that it is not our place to judge other people. And so just because I might disagree with people on different issues or topics, does not make a person my enemy. I love and respect them as the individual that they are. And I think we need more of that.
Well, like I was telling your dad earlier today, the Bible, because people will come up to me all the time and go, well, God hates gays. I'm like, no, he doesn't. And they're like, the Bible says homosexuality is a sin. Well, the Bible also says love the sinner, not the sin.
Yes.
Love
thy neighbor. One of the Ten Commandments.
You can't cut and paste what you want.
True. And the thing that they talk about in the Bible, because people go to that automatically, is I understand where people are talking about the certain passages. You have to interpret it that it's about homosexuality. It's a conversation. But I think, as a practicing Catholic, God teaches us not to judge others. It's not our place to judge. So, just if someone's more religious or someone's, pro-LGBTQ, it doesn't matter. We all need to be working together.
Absolutely. So like I said, I'm glad to see you guys here. How can people get involved with your organization?
Sure, absolutely. So they can follow us at Log Cabin Republicans of Greater Boston. We have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter account, a very active Twitter account, a very active Instagram account. We also have a website. You can go to lcrboston.com and we'll be posting different things about becoming a member, different events. Actually, right now we're in the middle of, we just put out the request for candidates to seek our endorsement. On the first day we had at least 10 candidates from Massachusetts all over the Commonwealth. It was absolutely heartwarming. But and also they can email us at info@lcrboston.com.
Sounds great. And so there you guys have it. Please get involved. It seems like a really great organization. I don't know how I haven't seen these guys before. I've been to 3 or 4 of these conventions in a row. But Alexander's a really great guy, and his father is really great. And we
Yes,
just want to
he
show
is.
our support to you guys.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Please get involved.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.